Hello and welcome to our Key Stage 2 video of an alien. Today we're going to build an alien, something like this. Okay, so to build the alien you will need all of your creator clay, you will need your scales, you will need your creator card, and also one of your tools. Okay. So before we get started, I'm going to give you a few facts on the alien. Try and listen and understand them. If you would like to, at the end, you can download our activity sheets and these facts will relate to them. So hopefully you can take everything on board and fly through those activity sheets. So an alien is classed as any life form that is not from our planet. Life in the form of bacteria was found on Mars in 2009 and NASA thinks it grew on the planet. Okay, NASA uses space rovers to search for life on Mars currently. NASA has found a lot of planets in the universe that are just like Earth that could support life. Aliens have appeared in lots of films. I'm sure you can think of a load yourself. A couple that I can think of that come to mind are E.T. and Toy Story. In fact, the alien we're building today looks like one of the aliens that appeared in Toy Story. Okay, Area 51 in Hyco, Nevada recently saw a flood of tourists and internet personalities alike due to a viral event on Facebook claiming to free the aliens in Area 51. The event gained lots of attention in 2019. However, the military territory has actually been around for a long time. The vicinity has been turned into a tourist spot for extraterrestrial enthusiasts and believers of alien life. Most likely spots for alien life in our solar system: underground refuges on Mars, hotspots on Saturn's moon, whose south pole is dotted with geysers, and Jupiter's moons Europa and Callisto, whose icy crusts may conceal vast underlying oceans of water. And obviously if there's water, then there is potential to support life on that planet. Okay, so we're going to get into the build now. What you will need is you'll need your scales. So everybody grab their scales, please. Turn your scales on and make sure you have a G on your scales because we're weighing in grams today. Okay, as always. And if your scales don't read 0.00, then press the tear button. Okay. When you've done that, get your blue clay, and I'd like you to weigh out 8.75 grams. 8.75 grams of blue clay. Now, if you go, remember when you're taking your blue clay out, pinch hard, pull quickly. Okay, just keep piling it up. Don't push down on your clay onto the scales because it'll send your scales all doolally. Okay, and we're looking for 8.75. Now, if you get 8.80 or 8.72, that's absolutely fine. I've got 9, so that's actually too much. 8.79, I'm going to take a tiny little bit off. 8.74, so I'm going to keep that. Okay, just roll that into a quick ball and put it onto the side of your table. We'll work on that in a minute. And then next, if you can measure out a ball that weighs 0.20, please. 0.20. .22. I'm happy with that. Once you've got your two balls on your table, a 0.20 ball and an 8.75 gram ball, okay, put the rest of your blue clay into your pot and make sure you put the lid on so it stays nice and fresh. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is we're going to leave the little ball just at the top of our table and we're going to roll our big blue ball. And basically what we want you to do is work on the table, make sure you get rid of any creases that are in your clay. the more you work that ball on the table, you'll get a nice smoother finish, okay? So if you can all just work on that for me. All right. Then what we want to do, we want to get our creator card, and on the back of your creator card, you'll remember there's a ruler. We're going to roll out this ball into a sausage roughly about 4 centimeters long. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit more than 4 centimeters or a little bit shorter than 4 centimeters. It's entirely up to you because this is going to be your body. So, you could have a body like that, or you could flatten it down and have a more squarer body, or you could have a fat ball of a body. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to have a 4 centimeter body. I'm happy with my alien. Okay, I'm going to have that. Alright, what I'd like to do now is, again, grabbing your scales. Now, you probably don't have to move your scales every time. I don't have a very big work surface to work on. So, getting your scales, I want you to grab your white clay, please. And I would like you to weigh out 0.50. So, 0.50 grams. So, that's 3, 5, 6, 0.49, that will do. Put the lid back on. Okay, so you should have a white ball that weighs 0.50. I would then like you to get your small 0.20 ball of blue, okay, and I would just like you to mix that for me. All right. Make sure you get rid of all that white clay, so you can't see any white clay. And what we're trying to create is a lighter blue. Okay, then once you've done that, roll that into a ball on your table. My body's in the way. Okay, and then using your thumb, gently just push down. We're trying to make something similar to like a pound coin, I guess. Okay, a nice circle, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that on top of our body, just like that. Okay, now once it's on top of your body, obviously you might have a different shape body, so you can just stretch it out a little bit. Make sure it kind of covers the top of your body there, like that. And if, like I've just done, just squeezed my body in a little bit, so I'm just going to reshape that. So I've got a light ball on top of my alien's body now. Okay. Right then, what I'd like to do now is I would like you to get your scales again. Again, making sure that they're reading 0.00 before we weigh, and that you've got a G on. And weigh out 5 grams of yellow clay, please. 5 grams. 5.00. I hope you guys have all been enjoying the videos. I think Mark's been doing a fantastic job. Okay, so that's 5.08, 4.91, 4.99. Take that again. Can't say it enough. Your parents will get mad if you don't put your lids back on your clay, because it will dry out and then you won't be able to use it. Okay, and the aim is to try and build as many models as possible from the clay that you have before hopefully ordering some more so you can continue with some more videos. Okay, so do you know what we probably should have done? I don't even know if I reminded you of this when we started, was you do need, like always, an airtight container. Okay, so for the time being, let's put our body, so it doesn't dry out too much, let's put our body into our airtight container, put the lid. Okay, leave that in there, just why, and we'll get that back out in a minute. All right, I'm going to get told off for that. Five grams of blue clay, 1.45 grams of blue. I've got 1.46. Again, that's good enough. Roll that into a ball. Okay, so now we're going to take our yellow ball and our blue ball. We're going to put them together. We're going to mix. Does anyone know what color it's going to make? You should. So you can't see any blue and you can't see any yellow. Don't forget, if you've done lots of videos already, and you can get your parents to take a picture of some of the models that you've made, or even if you've created some of the models yourselves, you know, send them to us, info@claycreators.com. We would love to see them. We'd love to see your creations. We'd love to see the creations that you've made following our model plans, or just some that you've made on your own back. Okay, we're always interested. Right, so that looks good to me. So I'm going to roll that into a ball. And then we're going to need our scales again. So turn my scales on. Okay, so we need two measurements out of this green ball. We need one measurement that weighs 4.20 gram. So let's do that first. So 4.20. .25, 4.20. So I'm going to get that, and I'm just going to put that on my table for the time being. And we need another measurement of 0.20. 0.20. Okay, so I've got that. You should have about this much green left. Okay, what I want you to do with that is take that, put that into your airtight container. Just remember, when you put in any spare clay into your container, just make sure it stays away from the model that you've already got in there, because if it touches, it's going to stick to that model, and you'll no longer have a, oh, as he says, it rolled over, so I'm going to make sure that stays away from it. All right. Right, so you've got two balls now. Right, with the big ball, I would like you to roll that into a nice ball, please. Again, using the table, trying to get out all the creases and cracks in that clay. Get a nice smooth ball. Take as long as you need, okay, till you're happy with it. And this is going to be your head. So again, it doesn't have to be a round head. It can be whatever shape you want your alien to have as a head. I'm going to go with a round ball shape, and I'm just going to turn that on the table because the bottom bit will be what sticks onto his shoulders. Okay. And then if you can get out your body out of your airtight container, please. Okay, and then once you've done that, all I want you to do is just stick that clay on, or his head on. just onto his body, just like that. Okay? Right then, so I'm going to leave my alien just standing up just here for the time being. Okay, what I'd like to do now is with this small ball, I'd like to roll that. Ooh, I'd like you to roll that again into a ball and just roll it out just to a little sausage. Okay, doesn't matter what size, because all that's going to happen now is we're going to get our knife. Okay, and I'd like you to cut 3 equal balls out of this sausage. Okay, I always like to mark them first just to make sure that roughly they look the same. One, 2, 3. Once you've done that, roll them into 3 balls and just make sure they're roughly the same sort of shape. Okay, so you should have 3 green balls in front of you. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to take one of these green balls and we're going to roll it into like a teardrop. So if everyone can remember by doing the induction, how we make the teardrop is by just literally rolling on one side. Okay, and this is going to be the antenna. So once you've rolled it on one side, you should end up with something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to stick that in the middle of my alien's head. Okay, just like that. Then once you've done that, we're going to make 2 ears and the same sort of thing. We're going to roll it into a ball, roll on one side. Now what I'd like you to do now is once you've made that teardrop, I'd just like you to push down a little bit on it. Okay, and then we're going to stick our ears on. And again, this is where you can create the shape of your ears. Okay, I'm happy with that. So again, I'm going to make one more ear, roll into a teardrop, push down with our finger, and then stick your alien's other ear on. So I've got it like that. You want to see? I'm happy with that. Okay, so what we need to do now is we are going to take our white clay, okay, and this isn't going to be really a measurement. This is going to be down to you. So obviously you can see the size of your alien's face, okay. What we want to do now is we want to put 3 eyes. The alien's going to have 3 eyes on the front of his face, and they're going to go all next to each other. So there's no point in having really, really big eyes because they just won't fit on. You won't see them, okay, and it'll look untidy. So I want you to grab a pinch of white clay. It doesn't have to be precise, but if I just grab the amount of clay that I've got here, and I grab my creator card, it's roughly a 1 centimeter ball. Okay, it fits into a 1 centimeter circle. All right, and again, I'd like to roll it into a sausage. I would like you to get your knife, and I'd like you to cut into 3 even balls. So just roll them into 3 even balls for me. And again, it doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same size because it's an alien. Aliens can have different size eyes, or your alien can. No pressure. And then once you've done that, just take your finger and I'd just like you to gradually push down on the white clay. Okay. So you've got 3 flat eye shapes. Then I'd like you to get your black clay. Okay. And I'd like to fill in the 0.5 centimeter circle And it doesn't matter if this is even smaller than the 0.5 centimeter circle. What we really don't want is for it to be any bigger. So, I mean, that looks all right to me. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to roll that tiny, tiny little ball into a sausage. And we are going to cut that into 3 even shaped balls. Once you've done that, roll them into a ball. Okay. So you should have 3 even black balls. Okay, and then all we're going to do, you can either take your tool or your fingers if you can grab them. You're going to put each black ball in the center of your white eye. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my tool. You can use your finger if you want. I'm just going to push down gradually just to create my eyes. Okay, and then now I'm going to go with my eyes in a line, so 3 lines in a row. If you want, you can have 2 eyes and then an eye above. It's entirely up to you. So, and you just have to put this on. Now bear in mind, we've still got to put your alien's mouth on yet. So make sure you leave room at the bottom of his head to put a smile on, but you should have something along the lines of that. Okay. And then once you've done that, take your knife and just cut into your alien a little smile, or if you think your alien's happy. If you want to be really fancy, you could open his mouth up, potentially put a little bit of red clay hanging out, which is a little tongue. Okay, so I've got my little face, my little smile. Okay, what I'd like to do now is I would like to weigh out 0.70 grams of blue clay. What I'm going to do for the time being, and we're going to need this very soon, is I'm going to put this back into my airtight container. Okay, and I'm going to stand him up. Well, I'm going to lean him against my in my container against the side, and I need to weigh out 0.70 grams of blue clay. Don't forget, at any point, if we're going a little bit too fast for you, just press pause and you can catch up. Okay, and don't forget as well that your alien doesn't have to look like mine. Okay, this is your model. We're just trying to give you a little bit of advice on how to create an alien like we've built, but yours might be your design might be a lot better. So be happy with whatever you produce, and know, hopefully, that the more you do these models, the better you'll get, and you'll be able to send us those pictures and maybe become part of the Clay Creator family one day. Who knows? Okay, so we've got our 0.70 gram ball. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut that ball into half, please. Okay, so you should have 2 even sized balls. I can't cut into halves, and then we're going to weigh this out to about measure this out, roll this out to about 2 centimeters. So roll them into balls, get rid of any cracks. And then just gradually roll them out, and we want to get to about 2 centimeters. Okay. Once you've got one measured up, you can either continue to use your ruler, or you can... Now I've not done a very good job there, so I'm going to put that back into a ball, roll it back up, and then start again. That's better. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter if you've got one slightly bigger, fatter. Don't worry too much about it. Okay. So these are going to be our arms. They'll make sense in a minute. And then what I need you to do is I need you to get in your airtight container. You should have a ball of green clay. If you can grab that green clay for me. And I'd like you to make a ball that fits into your 1 centimeter circle using your green clay. I'm happy. Make sure you can see the outline of the circle. Okay, so you don't want it to be too big. And then once you've done that, roll that into a ball. And split that into the middle, into two. Okay, again, roll it into a ball. Roll the other one into a ball. And then we're going to stick these green balls onto our arms. Okay. All right, and then once you've done that, so you've got your green ball onto your arm, all you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and just give it a little slice there, okay? And then grab your body out of your airtight container. If ever your clay doesn't stick, so if I was to put my my arms on here and they won't stick, which believe it or not, they're not going to. Okay, they have actually stuck, but what I'm going to show you, okay, so if they don't stick, whenever you're doing these videos, just take your arm, okay, you know you're using blue clay, grab a tiny bit, tiny bit of fresh blue clay, okay, roll it into a ball, stick it on the inside of your arm, and then stick that onto your alien's shoulder, and then it should stick perfectly. Okay, and you can do that whenever you're making a model. I'm hoping this one will stick. No, it won't. So again, I'm going to have to get some more tiny little bit of fresh clay out. The blue clay is drying quickly today. Okay. Okay, so I've got my two arms on and I'm ready to go to the next part. All right, so again, using this green clay that we have out, okay, don't forget, I've had to use a bit of blue clay, so make sure I put my top back on. Okay, get your green clay, and I'd like you to weigh out 0.70 grams, please, 0.7. 0.73. I'm happy with that. Okay, roll that into a ball. And we're going to get our tool and we're going to cut that into the middle again. And we're going to roll them into balls. So we got two nicely smooth balls. Okay, and then what I want you to do then is I just want you to push down on one side of the ball. Okay, you want to see that? And then I'd like you to do the same with the other one. All right, and then I'd like you to take your alien, and the bit that we've pushed down, we're going to sit that on top of the body, okay, just like that. We're going to put the other one on. Okay, so we've got 2 feet, and then if you would like to, you can take your knife and just put some cuts in to make his feet, okay? All right, finally what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to fill in your 0.5 centimeter circle with red clay. And this is going to be your alien's little badge on the front of his outfit. And what I'd like to do is try and make, if you can, using your fingers, a little badge for your alien. I'm going to go with like a little triangle, but you guys can do whatever suits you. And then once you've done that, I mean, you can even shape it, I guess, a little bit when it's on your alien. But I've gone with a little triangle. Ooh. Got to figure out where this camera is. Okay. And that's it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Now, you should all have a tiny little bit of green clay left. Now, what you can do now, and it's entirely your choice, okay, you can free play. If you free play, weigh out some clay, maybe a gram of each color, okay, and try and make something else to go with your alien, like a UFO, or you could make a mini alien, like a baby alien. You can make anything. You don't have to, though. Don't forget that we have activity sheets for you to download, and part of them sheets are those coloring pictures that you might want to do to go with your alien. Some questions and answers, which you can have a go at from listening to the facts. And don't forget, most importantly, to have a look at some of our other videos. We've got lots of videos, and we're hoping to add a new video each week. All right, so if you do get to the point where you're running out of clay, you can order more clay from claycreators.com/shop. All right, perfect. And one last reminder, please, please, please send me your creations. I would love to see them. info@claycreators.com. Just write your name on the email and some of the models that you've produced, it would be fantastic to see them. All right, have a great day, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.